You're walking through a city surrounded by towering skyscrapers. But then, you see one that stands eerily silent. Its windows are shattered, paint peeling, and the once bustling halls now echo with emptiness.
No doubt one of the problems the city's next mayor will still be dealing with is the blighted and dangerous Plaza Tower building.
The second building from the Dirty Dozen list, but they're hoping to avoid tearing down another long abandoned building on the list.
What happened here? How did something built with ambition and millions of dollars end up abandoned? These skyscrapers weren't just left behind. They have stories of war, financial crashes, engineering failures, and even corruption. Today, we're diving into 10 of the world's tallest abandoned skyscrapers and uncovering the secrets they hold. One Beirut Trade Center, Beirut, 459 feet. During the Lebanese Civil War, from 1975 to 1990, snipers took up residence in several Beirut buildings in what became known as the Battle of the Hotels. Construction on the 40-story Beirut Trade Center, also known as Burj al-Mur, or the Tower of Bitterness, began in 1974, just a year before war broke out. At that point, the $15 million building was 70% complete, Executive Magazine reported in 2004. In addition to office space, the Trade Center was designed to hold a movie theater and restaurant accessible by helicopter. The architect Camillo Boano and the urban planner Dalia Chabarek described it as a scarred artifact of war that was difficult to topple or renovate. Several artists have incorporated the unfinished building into their work. In 2018, Jad El Khoury put up a temporary installation in the structure, adding colorful curtains to the windows to transform it into Burj El Hawa, the Tower of Air, Arconnect reported. Second Plaza Tower, New Orleans, 531 feet. One of New Orleans' tallest buildings has become a danger in the decades since it was erected in the 1960s. While the $15.5 million building had a few residential units, it was mainly designed for offices. In 2002, building tenants, including the Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office, complained that toxic mold was making them sick. In the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, the building was gutted because of both mold and asbestos, the Times-Picayune reported in 2014. Since then, its problems have continued. A piece of paneling fell and hit a bicyclist in 2021. There was a fire in 2022, and a man died falling from one of the floors in 2023. Despite attempts to salvage the Plaza Tower, the city made their case that the buildings become a public safety hazard, Ursini said. Now the city is preparing to demolish the building, though the current owner hopes to find a buyer instead, the Times-Picayune reported in January. 3909 Chestnut Street, St. Louis, 588 feet. In 2022, Rosen Preservation wrote a report arguing that 909 Chestnut Street, also known as 1AT and T Center, should be added to the National Register of Historic Places. Completed in 1985, the St. Louis building is one of the tallest in the state and has a fortress-like base, and its facade appears to stretch beyond what is expected, seemingly indefinitely, the report says. AT&T didn't renew its lease in 2017, and the building has been empty since, according to CoStar, which gathers information on commercial real estate. In 2024, the Goldman Group bought 909 Chestnut for $3.6 million, a fraction of its 2006 price of $205 million. At that price, I guess the building itself is a blank slate because you're picking it up for almost nothing, Ursini said. The real estate firm hopes to put in 600 apartments, a pickleball court, and a movie theater, Fox 2 reported in January. Fourth Sathorn Unique, Bangkok, 607 feet. Popularly known as Thailand's Ghost Tower, this looming structure dates back to 1990. The 47-floor building was only 80% finished when the 1997 Asian financial crisis hit. Its architect was also charged and then acquitted as part of a murder plot that was never carried out, Architectural Digest reported in 2023. With the unfinished luxury condo in ruins, daredevil travelers risk trespassing and injury to explore the tower. Exposed wires and rusty metals are just a few of the building's hazards. Fifth, Centro Financiero con Finanzas, Caracas, Venezuela, 623 feet. For years, this empty 45-story building, known as the Torre de David or Tower of David, was also described as the world's tallest slum. The banker David Brillenberg hoped to create Venezuela's version of Wall Street with the tower, the New Yorker reported. But the country's financial crisis and Brillenberg's death put an end to construction in 1994, New York Magazine reported. Some 3,000 people took up residence in the concrete shell of a building, transforming it into a community with electricity, grocery stores, and water, Slate reported in 2014. But the structure was deemed unsafe, and the occupants were evicted in 2014, the BBC reported. In 2018, a powerful earthquake did some damage to the upper levels of the Tower of David, Reuters reported. One Seaport, New York City, 670 feet. At between $1.5 million and $20 million a pop, units in One Seaport came with the promised luxuries of an infinity pool, dazzling views, and 10-foot ceilings. Buyers snapped them up, putting down hundreds of thousands of dollars as deposits. In 2017, a carpenter working on the $273 million building fell to his death, the New Yorker recently reported. When it emerged that the building was sinking and leaning to the left, its contractors and developers started blaming each other, Curbed reported in 2021. One lawyer involved in one of One Seaport's many lawsuits described the tilted structure as resembling a banana. While the building is unlikely to fall over, construction has been halted since 2020. 7. Oceanwide Plaza, Los Angeles, 677 feet. Consisting of 3 towers, the unfinished Oceanwide Plaza has become notorious for artists tagging its exterior. Last year, thrill seekers, even base, jumped from the top. The ambitious complex, expected to cost $1 billion, was meant to be home to luxury residential units and a 5-star hotel, the Los Angeles Times reported. It's about 60% complete after construction halted in 2019. Oceanwide Holdings, the company behind the towers, filed for involuntary bankruptcy, Los Angeles Magazine reported last year. Finishing the project would take about $800 million, the Wall Street Journal reported. 8. Ryugyong Hotel in Pyongyang, North Korea, 1,082 feet. Jutting high above its surrounding buildings, the pyramid-shaped Ryugyong earned the nickname Hotel of Doom when it sat empty and incomplete for more than a decade in the middle of North Korea's biggest city. Work on the 105-story building began in 1987 under the rule of Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-un's grandfather. In 1992, the economic depression following the Soviet Union's collapse halted construction before windows were installed and the concrete was covered. Construction has stopped and started several times since, and it's unclear when the structure will open. In 2008, Reuters reported it would take an estimated $2 billion to complete the hotel. It was bare. Simon Cockerell, a tour operator, told Australia's 9 News of the concrete-filled interior after a visit in 2023. On the outside, though, a new LED screen broadcasts propaganda. 9. Sky City, Mandaluyong, Philippines, 1,099 feet. This is one project that never got off the ground. Originally, its developers hoped Sky City would be the Philippines' tallest building. They planned for the 77-story skyscraper to hold a hotel, swanky condos, and a bar, Esquire Philippines reported. Nearby homeowners complained when developers broke ground in 1997 for several reasons, including that the structure, planned to be more than 1,000 feet tall, would cast a giant shadow. A lengthy legal battle ensued, and funding for the estimated $85 million project dried up. The location is just a large, mossy hole now. 10. Goldin Finance 117, Tianjin, China, 1,957 feet. Nothing in the vicinity comes close to the height of the rusting, unfinished Goldin Finance Tower in Tianjin, a city in northern China. It was meant to hold a hotel, condos, and offices. Construction began on the structure in 2008. A diamond-shaped atrium was supposed to sit atop the building, reminiscent of a glittering gem on top of a walking stick. From the atrium's observation deck and restaurant, guests would have had dizzying views of the city's downtown. Then, in the mid-2010s, Goldin Group, the Skyscrapers developer, started having financial troubles. At that point, it would have taken $10 billion to complete the project, Forbes reported in 2022. There's no cladding on the exterior, and the building is just there awaiting a restart of construction, Ursini said. It still remains empty today.